shit in my mouth. We're reading The Gossipy Wife. I don't know why I started the video like that. It's by Amanda Hall. Here are two women. I vaguely remember this being on a shelf in my primary school library. I'm not sure I ever read it, but I remember the pictures at least. This was published in 1981. Adapted from a Russian folktale. So it's got Russian design through all the book. Long ago in Russia, there lived a poor old man called Ivan. Yep, we're off to a great start. Ivan. Though poor, he was happy, and his only problem was that his wife, Katrina, was a terrible gossip. It's not a bad problem to have, all things considered. She chatted away from morning till night, wherever she was and whatever she was doing, and was quite unable to keep a secret. What am I going to do with my gossipy wife? One afternoon, I was going to do Russian voices for this book, but now I'm having second thoughts. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I'll try and give up. Who knows? I know at least one person who would be either amused or disappointed if I bother to try. I have very little experience with actual Russian voices, or an actual Russian accent, or accents, I suppose. Most of my experience of Russian comes from fiction, so not the very least of which is Chekhov from Star Trek. So, and God, who knows? Maybe Yakov Smirnoff. I don't know if I've ever actually seen any Yakov Smirnoff stand up. One afternoon, Ivan went into the forest to dig up a pit to catch a wolf. He had made quite a deep hole and was just about to stop digging when suddenly his spade hit something hard. Ivan dug deeper still, and at last uncovered a large, brightly coloured chest. Cautiously, he opened the lid. Inside were heaps of shimmering gold coins. Ivan could hardly believe his luck. With all this gold, he and Katrina would be able to live in comfort for the rest of their days. But then he had a worrying thought. As soon as he told Katrina about the gold, she would spread the news around the village. The cruel and greedy landlord who owned the forest would soon come to hear of it and would claim all the gold for himself. How could Ivan keep the secret? And here he is, pondering with some rabbits. Why am I describing this picture? You all have, I assume most of you have eyes that can see. For those of you who don't, he is a bearded elderly-ish man, perhaps in his 60s or 70s, sitting atop a red chest with lilies? I think those are lilies. I don't know what flowers look like. And there are 4 rabbits just sort of sniffing around. Yep. This is why I should not try to improvise. Ivan thought hard. Then suddenly an idea came to him. Excuse me, I have the belt cheese. I had some sody, and now I have the burps. As soon as he had worked out his plan, he buried the chest again and marked the spot with the large stone. When he went to check the traps, which he had set earlier that day on the forest floor and in the river, then he went to check the traps, read the words that are on the page. Luckily, both traps had sprung. In one he had caught a hare, and in the other a pike. He took the hare from its trap and placed it in the net in the river. Then he put the pike in the hare's trap. Posing with hares and pikes, so I suppose those are hares and not rabbits. Are rabbits hares? Are hares rabbits? I don't know. If they have different names, they're probably different things. But as I have said in a previous video, I'm an idiot. I don't know stuff. It was dark. It was dark by the time Ivan got home. Moment of truth. Katrina, my dear. Is that a Russian accent? Sure. We've had a great stroke of luck. No, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sorry. No, I don't feel confident in this at all. I found a chest full of gold buried in the forest. We must go back and fetch it together, but it would be very heavy. Why don't you cook us some pancakes to build up our strength? Katrina was so excited that for once she was almost speechless. She hurried away and made a pile of pancakes. In her excitement, she didn't notice that Ivan was slipping half of the pancakes into a large sack under the table. Flipping pancakes. Are they bacon pancakes? She making bacon pancakes? She's taking bacon and putting them in pancakes? Bacon pancakes. After... Stop it. After their meal, they set off into the forest. All along the way, Katrina was so busy chattering about the treasure that she didn't see Ivan hanging pancakes on the trees. They soon reached the spot where the treasure was buried, and Ivan dug up the chest. Katrina's eyes grew round at the sight of the gold. She let the coins run through her fingers. How beautiful they gleam! How beautifully they gleamed in the lantern's glow. When the gold had been loaded into the sack, Ivan said, "Let's just check the traps while we are here. Me talk good. That why me talk in microphone and book, 'cause me have good mouth word." So they went to the river. And Ivan pulled out the hare. "Good gracious me!" cried Katrina. "Whatever is a hare doing in the river?" "Silly," said Ivan. Haven't you ever heard of water hares? Me talk good. Did I mention that? He then led her to the pike in its trap. Again, Katrina cried out in astonishment. "Silly," said Ivan again. "It's a land pike, of course. Surely you've seen one of those before." As they walked home with their sack of gold, Ivan said casually, "I see it's been raining pancakes again." Might be Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's a movie title. He raised... I should not laugh every time I think I'm being a complete sack of shit. He raised the lantern so that Katrina could see the pancakes hanging from the trees on either side of the path. "Well, I never," said Katrina. "What a strange night we're having." And there's some tree pancakes. Yeah, I said it. On their way home, they had to pass the landlord's house. Ivan walked on ahead as he went by the landlord's gate, he made a horrible screaming noise. "What was that?" cried poor Katrina in alarm. "Come, my dear, we must hurry home," said Ivan. "That was the landlord screaming in pain. The devil is in there wrestling with him for his soul." Is this part of the plan? There's Katrina gasping in terror at the impending, I'm forgetting words, impending possession of the greedy landlord. Later that night, just before he blew out the candle, Ivan warned Katrina sternly not to tell anyone about their treasure. "Oh no, I won't say a word," promised Katrina. There he is. There's that purposeful finger. Do not do this awesome thing. But the next morning, when she met the other women at the well, Katrina just couldn't resist temptation to gossip about the gold. How could she possibly keep such a wonderful secret to herself? I'm telling you all about the big chest of gold that we found. La 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 la, look at that awesome wooden horse. That's a good horse. I had a horse, I had a toy like that. I don't know if it was a horse, but I definitely had my grandfather was a carpenter. So I don't think we ever actually got any. I think he was retired by the time I was born. So I don't know if he made us any toys, but random tidbit. I had a tiny toy with wheels and string. It wasn't painted. Uh it was just stained. It wasn't anything exciting. Hey, look at that huge cock on that roof. Of course, the news soon reached the ears of the wicked landlord, who was furious. He sent for Ivan and Katrina at once. There's the news reaching the greedy landlord. Wow, he got dressed in a hurry. He's not even wearing the... I guess that's a necklace. What is that? Man, he really wanted to make a point. What's this I hear about you digging up treasure on my land? He roared. Well, sir, it's quite true, said Ivan. My wife will tell you all about it. Katrina eagerly poured out the whole story. She told the landlord about the gold and the water hare and the land pike and the shower of pancakes. And we felt very sorry for you, sir, when we heard you screaming as the devil tormented you. As he listened to he's trans, who knows? As he listened to Katrina, why did I say that? Let's not make a point of it and just move on. As he listened to Katrina's ridiculous story, the landlord's face grew redder and redder with rage. How dare you waste my time with such nonsense? He bellowed. Get out of my sight, both of you, and never come back. Do not talk to me or my son again. So that is how Ivan and Katrina were able to keep their gold and live in comfort for the rest of their lives. But as for Katrina, the gossipy wife, no one believed her stories ever again. And there they are, not believing her stories. And that's the end of the story, and the moral of the story is, gaslight your wife!